So I had somebody, based off what you were saying, they sent me a DM and they showed this picture. I guess this is somebody in Cape Verde. So
Mhm.
you said this was the extreme minority, but you
You
did
don't
see
see a
some.
lot of those. You're not going to see a lot of those in Santiago where I was at, and I went around the whole island, which was like an all day excursion. You're not going. They're there, but you don't see it. You rarely see them.
Wow. Wow. I
You
know a
don't see
lot
them.
of them have moved to Portugal themselves, from what I've seen, that a lot of
But
Cape Verdeans went to Portugal. So TLFA says there's two groups of people in Cape Verde. It's Baidu and Sampajudo. These types of girls are normally in the Sampajudo Islands, like Salventia.
yeah, that's what I heard. In South Vicente, that's where most of the lighter complected girls are. That's what I heard. Um, I didn't get a chance to get over there because I heard there's only like 2 flights a day going over there. It's like a 20-minute flight, puddle jumper.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like packing all my stuff up, going over there, you know what I'm saying, trying to it's a hassle. So maybe when I go back, I'll go over to South Vicente.
Okay. So more fortune says if DJP goes to Kenya, he'll be hooked. I believe that too. Now there's not as many curly froze out here in Kenya. I will tell you that because I
Oh
know you
yeah,
like curly froze. I like them too,
I love him.
but there's not as many. But it's a lot for you to pick from out here.
Hi guys, so I posted this on my community page basically saying Austin is a colorist and his followers have been coming to my under the reply claiming he's not colorist. No, he is colorist, very colorist. Go to his Twitter page. Almost every girl he follows is either a light-skinned black woman or non-black woman. Yeah, he follows, dark-skinned, I guess you could say brown-skinned black women like this girl Paris. But Paris is a black man panderer. I mean, she defends black men no matter what they do. She's always attacking black women, defending black men. So that's why he follows her, not because he's attracted to her, not because he finds her attractive. It's because she is a panderer. I mean. And she's pandering to a group of men who don't even find her attractive. I mean, there is a tweet from one black man. I couldn't find it but it says something like, "I wish Paris was better looking." Because she has enough, she is enough level of stupidity for me, or something like that. Basically saying, admitting that she's a panderer, but he doesn't find her attractive, like something like that. So she's basically pandering to a group of men who don't even find her attractive. Yeah, so those are the kind of dark-skinned black women Austin follows on Twitter. But it's not just Twitter, right? I mean, he has so many videos on his channel saying that, light-skinned black women, light-skinned women are his preference. I mean, he tried to justify that by saying that it's because he's attracted to light-skinned women, because his mom is also light-skinned. I mean, I guess he's trying to, because how, some people say, if you don't like black women, it means you don't like your mom or whatever. And so he's, I think, trying to use that same argument by saying that he likes light-skinned black women because he likes his mom or something, like, he's just trying to avoid being called a self-hater. So yeah, he's a colorist. He only likes the light-skinned black women or non-black women altogether. And it's not even like his supporters are, saying, well, he's in Africa, he must like non-light skinned black women. I don't know if you know this, but he's not in Africa because he likes African women. He's in Africa because he doesn't have anywhere else to go. Brazil kicked him out. Colombia, I guess other passport both have spoiled Colombia for him. He went to Asia. Asian women were not dropping their pants fast enough for him. And so he is in Africa because he doesn't have anywhere else to go. I mean, before Africa became, the only place he could go. Before that happened, like when he was in America, talking about his future plans. He never mentioned Africa. When people asked him, well, do you plan to go to Africa? The only African country he said he would go was Ethiopia. And we know why he said that. I mean, travel passport bros, Ethiopia is synonymous with light skin, Eurocentric featured women. So that is why he wanted to go to Ethiopia. I mean, the guy is so simple, he didn't even know how to cover up his colorism. I mean, I would have said, I want to go to Ethiopia because, it has a unique culture. I mean, Ethiopia is like, a unique country, like in Africa, right? Because we have our own alphabet, we have our religion is like old. Like you could say so many things. He could have said so many things to cover his colorism, but because this guy is not sophisticated, it was very obvious. He wanted to go to Ethiopia because he thinks Ethiopian girls are light-skinned, and I'm like, by the way, 60%, the most Ethiopians in Ethiopia do not look like the Ethiopians here in America because, anyways, he will probably find that out when he goes to Ethiopia. Passport bros have almost code words for beautiful women, right? It's like a country code, like Philippines is code for beautiful women, but Cambodia is not, things like that. So as you follow, watch more and more of their contents, you start to catch on their code words. And so Ethiopia is code word for light-skinned black women. So is Somalia. Somalia is also. But of course, the problem for them with Somalia is a very a Muslim country, and the activities they want to engage in will not be allowed in Somalia. But you still would find them using like Somalia is okay. Let me explain in a concrete term because Somalians are also light-skinned, right? So for them, Somalia is code word for beautiful light-skinned women. And it's funny because one time Auston went out with this Kenyan girl, but of course, if he was to post on his on the video he went out with a Kenyan girl, he wouldn't get a lot of it wouldn't attract a lot of views from his colorist followers. So he put on the title, I went to the zoo or to the safari with a Somalian girl. But the Somalian girl he had on, he asked her, where are you from? She says, Kenya. He's like, no, where are you really from? She's like, I am from Kenya. I was born in Kenya. My whole family lives in Kenya. But for him, that's not what he wanted her to say, right? Because for him, Kenya doesn't emote, beautiful women. It doesn't bring the image of beautiful. It's not associated with beautiful women for passport bros, right? So he is trying to get her to say she's Somalian, and she's like, no, I'm Kenyan, born and raised here. So he turns to the camera. He's like, what she doesn't want to say is that she's actually Somalian. And I'm like, oh my God, the colorism from this guy is so big that he is actually forcing a Kenyan girl to say she is from Somalia. And he posted that video. This is the video, and he got such a huge backlash from Kenyans. Like, yeah, the Kenyans are like, she's Kenyan. Why are you trying to force her to say she's Somalian? So he actually reposted the video with that conversation, the conversation I just described. Taken out. So these people are very colorist. He is colorist, his followers are colorist, and the colorism hasn't disappeared just because he is in Africa. In Africa we see the kind of girls he dates, which I'm okay about, because a huge percentage of Africans are dark skinned, and if he's only going to date light-skinned women, it's good that a huge percentage of African women will be saved from this sexist man. But he is very colorist. there is a video, a live he did with this guy, with this older passport bro. This video, the older passport bro guy's name is like DJ or something. Yeah, DJ. So DJ is just as colorist as Austin, and DJ had just come from. I'm sorry, DJ has just come from Cape Verde, and they're talking about Cape Verde. That both of them are disappointed that Cape Verde, an African island nation, is full of dark-skinned women. For some reason, both DJ and Austin thought that an African island nation would have women like who look like this girl. I mean, so you could see them like it's pathetic to see, right? To watch two black men being almost heartbroken to find out that an African nation is not full of light-skinned or non-black women. Like I think Austin is in Africa. Like even now, he's still looking for Brazil, right? He's not just trying to find the beach life, like to recreate the beach life in Brazil, which he has failed so far. He's also trying to find the women, right? So I think they thought Cape Verde would be where they would find the Brazilian women. So it's kind of pathetic, right? And it's kind of funny too, because you could see them, both of them, like their hope being crushed. They're almost both of them going through grief. Like they say grief is like a loss when you are grieving loss, right? I think both of them lost that hope, that expectation that they would find the Brazilian women in Cape Verde, and you could see them, both of them, being sad and like grief, right? When you go through grief, you go through denial and you go through bargain, right? And you see Austin going through denial. It's like no, it cannot be true, I have seen Cape Verdean women on IG. They are they look like Brazilians. He could not accept the reality, right? So because Austin hasn't gone there. He is interviewing a DJ who has just come from visiting Cape Verde, and Cape Verde DJ kept on telling him, no, there are there most women and men there are dark skinned, and so Austin could not believe that. So like he had his followers send him this picture, like pictures like this, to prove that there are actually Cape Verdeans who look like this woman. And it's pathetic, it's sad, but funny at the same time, because to see them almost go through existential crisis because they couldn't find because Brazilian women are not in Africa. Like there is not an African nation full of Brazilian women like that. For them, that's almost for Austin, that seems to send him into an existential crisis. So yeah, Austin is a colorist, but and I mean this truly, I have absolutely no problem. Not only do I have no problem with him being colorist, I am actually kind of happy he's colorist, because at least that means he will stay away from most black women. So yeah, I have absolutely zero problem. But my problem, of course, is and I this is probably the first video I made of about his colorism, even though I have noticed it for a long time, because Austin is such a sensitive guy. I don't know what happened in his past that has made him so sensitive, but he's sensitive to criticism. So I know that if I criticize him, he will use this almost primitive defense mechanism where he tries to undo what he did. So I am worried that he would go and start dating dark-skinned black women just to prove that he's not colorist, and I don't want him to do that. I don't want any dark-skinned black women around him. I mean, unless it is, business dealing, no dark-skinned black women should be dating this guy. And so, yeah, I'm gonna make a second video about the date and date being used very loosely he had with dark-skinned women. And yeah, so yeah, another point. But let me say something too. Yesterday I made a video about his, him saying that gay guys in Ghana were hitting on him. I wanted to say that I have absolutely no problem with him being gay. No, hold on. I do not believe he's gay. I do not believe he looks feminine. I do not, because I don't believe in the idea of femininity and masculinity. That's a sexist view, and I don't subscribe to that kind of view. And there's nothing gay about Auston. There is nothing feminine about Auston. There is nothing masculine about Auston. And I don't even say this just about Auston. I am of the belief that the idea of masculinity and femininity doesn't exist. It's a sexist idea. So yeah, I don't know why the gay guys thought you were gay, but for me you don't look gay. There is nothing that looks gay to me. For me, because I'm like, it's saying a straight person looks gay is homophobic. So I don't want to be a homophobic person. So no, there's nothing wrong with with how Auston looks. Auston is not feminine. Auston is not masculine. Auston, just like anybody else. So I hope people do not think I was kind of trying to poke fun at the way he looked. No, it's not. I am not a homophobic person. Anyways, thank you.